Yay Media Group.
13 has been my lucky number for a while. Like, it's always a sign of good things to come for me.
This is 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast, breaking down every song, every Easter egg, every era, and every theory. Hosted by the biggest Swifties, Nick Adams, Anna Szabo, Amy Nichols, and Lacey G.
Welcome to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. I'm Lacey G.
And I'm Amy.
And it's just me and you.
That's it.
This is like old times.
It is.
Me and you. We are down half a crew. Anna is at her best friend's wedding right now. Yeah, and Nick had something come up. And we're going to, just like old times, we're going to do this. Amy and Lacey Productions.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
It's going to be great.
It is.
I'm nervous.
Me too.
I'm super prepared, but I feel weird being the lead. I feel confident whenever everyone's here because everyone can pick up on everyone else's slack.
Yeah, I agree. And it's funny, we just finished The Alchemy, so I'm wondering how our chemistry is going to be. We used to have our own podcast, just you and I. Mm-hmm. So is that chemistry still there?
I hope so.
I think so.
I'm
pretty positive.
And we are talking about Clara Bow. Clara Bow is the final track on the Tortured Poets Department, the anthology, the first part.
Yes.
The final track. And it's different because the rest of the album seems to be relationship heavy, but Taylor Swift's music is so layered and so deep, even though seemingly a lot of people think she's talking about a person or maybe so many people at the same time. A lot of her music is also talking about her relationship in the industry and how she's been treated.
Yeah.
We've heard this time and time again, nothing new. How
Mirror Ball.
Yeah, how long-lived was her goodbye to fans because she was aging out of the industry.
Right.
Which is just so incredibly insane to think about. And I think that's why she decided to pick Clara Bow for this comparison, because in the industry, you're always being compared to be the next so-and-so, but you're going to be better. You're new. You're brand new.
All those promises.
You're edgy. And Clara Bow was the original It girl because she was in a movie called It, and that made her the It girl.
The original one from 1927, I think. So it's just finding someone, the person that's irresistible. That was the movie was about.
And that's just funny to me to think that that's the origin of the It girl, because we're so used to saying things that you never even think about where it came from. And that came from Clara Bow being the original It girl in the silent film. Also, Clara Bow dropped out of high school after she entered into this beauty contest in a magazine. She used to she had a really bad family life and would escape and go to the cinemas and go watch movies.
Silent movies.
And she entered into a contest and ended up winning and became a silent film star. But dropping out of high school, then that's also Taylor Swift, because she dropped out of high school to pursue her career as well. But then some other things that are in common, like Clara Bow had to transition from silent film to talkie film.
Yeah, and she was successful, which was rare in that time, to jump genres,
Because to be a silent film actress is one thing, but then Clara Bow was worried about her accent. Sound equipment and recording was so brand new. She didn't trust it. And that's kind of like how Taylor Swift had to transition not only genres, but also the traditional way of doing things. Whenever she came up, it was all about physical album sales and radio plays. And now it's about social and digital and streaming. And she's been able to transition from all of those.
And creating her own sort of system. With the movie, she cut out the middleman. That was brand new to my knowledge. But I mean, she's changing things herself.
Yeah.
Not just adapting.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Also, learning more about Clara Bow kind of gives me Rebecca Harkness feeling because it's just the story of a loud woman who refused to be what you wanted her to be. She had a quote, one of her famous quotes said, "I made a place for myself on the screen, and you can't do that by being Mrs. Alcott's idea of a little woman."
Miss Alcott?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Alcott?
That's exactly what I thought, but that's the author of Little Women.
Okay.
Yeah, that you can't that you can't be this picture perfect woman, which is something that Taylor Swift had to do as well. They wanted her to stay innocent, stay polite, do this. You have to sign contracts and be this person. It doesn't matter what you truly feel on the inside. And another quote that really got to me, all the time, this is from Clara Bow, all the time the flapper is laughing and dancing, there's a feeling of tragedy underneath.
Oh.
She's unhappy and disillusioned, and that's what people sense.
Ouch.
This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. Winter is here, the holidays are here, and not everyone has the best time during the holidays. I know that a lot of people are feeling nice and cozy and warm, but some people struggle when it's time to spend a lot of time with family members during the holiday. If that's you, we would invite you to check out our friends at BetterHelp, because therapy is a great way to bring yourself some comfort that never goes away, even when the seasons change.
I know I find the holidays to be super stressful, trying to run around to different family members and get here, get there, grab presents. And I do feel better once I talk to my therapist and find out different ways to cope, to self-soothe, to put up boundaries if it's something that I can't do for myself because of my mental health. And those are just some of the takeaways that I've had breakthroughs with my therapist from BetterHelp.
If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge.
Find comfort this December with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/Taylor Swift fan today to get 10% off your first month. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Taylor Swift fan.
She also, Clara Bow, had a lot of scrutiny as well. Her secretary turned against her and didn't like her fiance at the time, like released all these into evidence. And that really stuck out to me. She took all these personal documents and released them. And
That's Fortnite all over.
they ended up in this legal battle, and she aired out all of her dirty laundry. And then people started scrutinizing her love affairs, her lovers, everything. And that's what ended up causing Clara Bow to break down and go to a mental institution.
Yeah, she was diagnosed with schizophrenia later on.
How insane is that, the
Yeah.
parallels between the two? And we haven't even gotten to Stevie Nicks yet.
I know. Well, all three women were heavily scrutinized for their love lives and relationships. So, yeah, this is a really fitting song.
I do think one of the most boss things that I've ever heard. People admire Taylor Swift for everything she's done, as they should, and love her being a petty queen whenever she's going to play Call It What You Want on like Calvin Harris' birthday or something like that. But people said that Stevie Nicks would write songs about her bandmates and then have them perform them.
Yes. It is boss.
Which is just insane. But here's what Taylor Swift herself had to say about the song Clara Bow.
Clara Bow is a song that I wrote as sort of a commentary on just what I've seen in the industry that I've been in over time, right? Like I used to sit in record labels trying to get a record deal when I was a little kid. And they'd say, you know, you remind us of, and then they'd name an artist. And then they'd kind of say something disparaging about her and be like, but you're this, you're so much better in this way or that way. And that's how we kind of teach women to see themselves. It's like, you could be the new replacement for this woman who's done something great before you. And so I had this idea that it's a conversation between the young woman sitting in the chair in front of the desk and the man in power or woman in power sitting behind the desk saying, oh, you remind us so much of a woman who came before you, but don't worry, you're better. Like, we're going to make you the new her. So I picked women who have done great things in the past and have been sort of these archetypes of greatness in the entertainment industry. Clara Bow was the first it girl. Stevie Nicks is an icon, and an incredible example for anyone who wants to write songs and make music. So I just thought it would be interesting to talk about how weird that feels if we really add up that that's what we do as a society.
And just to speak on Stevie Nicks, I know that we'll get into her more here in a little bit, but here's a little background on Stevie Nicks and Taylor Swift. They performed at the 2010 Grammy Awards, Rhiannon and You Belong With Me. And that's the performance that Taylor got the scrutiny that she can't perform live whenever she went back and wrote Mean. But after their performance, Stevie Nicks talked about Taylor Swift in the 2010 Time 100 issue and said, when I first got the call from Taylor Swift about performing with her at this year's Grammy Awards, I really didn't want to do it. She's 20 years old, 5'11", and slender. I'm 40 years old, and to be frank, neither one of those two things. I was not about to stand next to this girl on national television, but her little face just lights up like a star, and I couldn't say no. Taylor reminds me of myself and her determination and her childlike nature. It's an innocence that's so special and so rare. This girl writes the songs that makes the whole world sing, like Neil Diamond or Elton John. She sings, she writes, she performs, she plays great guitar. Taylor can do ballads that can be considered pop or rock and then switch back into country. When I was 20 years old, I had just made the serious decision to never be a dental assistant. Taylor just turned 20, and she won 4 Grammys. I still walk around singing her song Today Was Like a Fairy Tale. All of us girls want that boy to pick us and think that we look beautiful even though we're in jeans and clogs. We want it at 14, we want it at 60. Taylor is writing for Universal Woman and for the man who wants to know her. The female rock and roll country pop star singer-songwriter is back, and her name is Taylor Swift. And it's women like her who are going to save the music business.
Wow, I love that so much. That's incredible.
Wrote that in 2010.
Yeah.
And then they've since had some history since then. But let's look at the lyrics. In quotation marks, you look like Clara Bow. In this light, remarkable. All your life, did you know you'd be picked like a rose?
So all of this is in quotations, and this verse is in the perspective of an entertainment executive. And it reminds me you'd be picked like a rose, the back to December, you gave me roses and left them there to die. And it sounds like a positive thing, but once you pick the rose, it's not going to make it. Mm-hmm. You want to put it in that vase, put it on that pedestal and make it all pretty and, worship it, but it doesn't stay that way.
Yeah, it's going to die. So you're still picking the fate, knowing what's going to happen. But that's a pretty way to say it, but then a tragic way to think about it.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to exaggerate, but I think I might die if it happened. And you're thinking, die of excitement, but the music industry knows better. Like, you could quite literally die from the scrutiny, the shock, the work, all of it.
And I even thought that she did die. Like, she lost herself. Her old self is gone. She's not a normal person anymore. She can't go to the grocery store. She's a celebrity, the celebrity of the world. So, yeah.
I didn't think about it like that, but yeah, the initial you dies. You have to give everything up for this stardom because your life will never be the same. But remembering back to high school, no one in my small town thought I'd see the lights of Manhattan. And then again, the record exec saying, this town's fake, but you're the real thing. Breath of fresh air through smoke rings. Take the glory, give everything. Promise to be dazzling. Which they have had to sign, like celebrities have to sign contracts and promising to do this, I saw that Clara Bow had to stay like at a certain weight. Judy Garland from The Wizard of Oz, like a child had to stay at this certain weight because of the Hollywood standards. And Clara Bow was so controlled that she was known to like rip up contracts in front of movie producers because they demanded too much from her. There was one movie she was going to be in and she didn't like the role. Someone else was getting more screen time. So she went and purposely got surgery and had like sinus surgery done, and it shut down the whole movie. So it was like, oh yeah, you think I'm not important to this? And it shut down the whole movie. Margot Robbie did a movie about it, mimicking her life, Babylon.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. I didn't know that was about Clara Bow.
Inspired by Clara Bow, because Clara Bow could cry on demand, and that was one thing that Margot Robbie could do in that movie. She was a silent film actress, and it was just tragic. But it's funny to me to hear that you're trying to control somebody that much, and they're ripping up contracts, and like, you're not going to make me, I'm going to go out and have surgery.
Yeah.
You have to be a strong person to push back like that, especially at this time.
Yeah, they try to control, but they're also, it's a little bit of a threat, promise to be dazzling because, there's always the next one. And I'm assuming that this is Stevie Nicks sitting down listening about Clara Bow, that she's the next one, in which we move into the next verse. And
yeah, because timeline, Stevie Nicks was still alive whenever Clara Bow died. So that is probably a lot of the comparison that she was getting. And then Taylor Swift is now hearing this. In quotations, "You look like Stevie Nicks. And 75, the hair and lips." Which they do look alike, but also people want to see bangs and lips and say y'all are the same person. I've been around girlfriends and they're like, are y'all sisters? No, because we both have long hair. Like, what? We don't look alike at all. But it's like you can have two superficial things in common.
Sure.
Not like same eyes, same nose. But you got bangs.
Yeah.
Y'all must be related.
That's it. Clone.
Crowd goes wild at her fingertips. Half moon shine, a full eclipse, which whenever Clara Bow was coming up, it was during Prohibition. So she's referencing a different moonshine, but moonshine was also popular during Prohibition.
Yeah, I took it as that now I'm assuming this is Taylor Swift sitting down listening about Stevie Nicks, and she's saying that you are intoxicating and you are a rare celestial event. Those are like, you're the amazing thing, and they're just saying it in a fun, interesting way.
I like that you just said celestial event because, that's totally speaking Taylor Swift language.
It sure is.
I love that. I'm not trying to exaggerate, but I might die if I made it. Die if I made it. No one in my small town thought I'd meet these suits in LA. They all want to say, this town is fake, but you're the real thing. Breath of fresh air through the smoke rings. Take the glory. Give everything. That line, take the glory, but you give everything. Like you said earlier, the old you dies. You're not allowed to be yourself anymore. You're now this stardom, this product, this image that you have to project.
Promise to be dazzling. So the second time she says this, it's establishing the cycle that this is going to happen over and over again. It's been happening for 100 years because Clara Bow started in 1920 and now we're in 2020s. So yeah, 100 years, and the industry has not changed.
And Taylor hit on it in Miss Americana about how the misogyny in the industry and how women have to stay beautiful, recreate themselves. You need a new era, and that was never on men, but you have to be the new shiny beautiful thing or you're old news and you're out. The crown is stained, but you're the real queen. So they're acknowledging that the system is messed up, that's very, very flawed and can leave permanent damage, but you're the real queen. This isn't going to happen to you. Ignore all the stuff that's happened in the past.
Yeah, promises.
Flesh and blood amongst war machines. You're the new god we're worshiping. Promise to be dazzling.
So these execs are just wanting the payday. Promise, because you're our biggest paycheck. Please promise to do everything you need to do to make us all that money.
And the hypocrisy that it's a suits, a manager, someone who is unable to do this themselves, but demanding so much out of you. That's just what I think is the craziest, that I can sit back behind my desk doing absolutely nothing but tell you, go perform, go do it. You can do it with a broken heart. Just get up and go, puppet. It's your time.
And I had a hard time. I was like, what is the crown is stained? And I saw someone say that it's the blood from the prior owners. Like they just passed down the crown. I just couldn't visualize what that meant. But that was like, whoa, that's quite the description. I loved it.
Blood, sweat, and tears, and everything that they poured out into it, all the shame on that crown, everything they had to endure. Beauty is a beast that roars, down on all fours, demanding more.
So this is the bridge, and none of this is in quotations. So I'm taking it as Taylor Swift in her own present time, her thoughts, not someone speaking, across the desk in an office.
So now that I'm not hanging out watching live streams of the Eras tour, what am I going to do with my time? Well, I already know. I've got a place I can go, and it's the Lobster Lounge. We've created the Lobster Lounge. It's our exclusive club for our lobsters, and it's absolutely free to join. Just go to station.page/13. It's our little online community that we've made with our listeners. We can get together and chat about news that's going on, our sadness that the Eras tour is finally over. Plus, we're going to be doing cool giveaways, including this one. You can register now to win tickets to Swiftie Tattoo Fest this weekend. There's an event going on December 13th and December 14th in Dallas, Texas. And yes, it is called Swiftie Tattoo Fest for a reason. There's going to be a lot of tattoo artists there, along with Swiftie vendors, food trucks, and a lot of cool events going on as well. I'm going to be there Friday night judging an Eras costume contest, but they've got plenty of other cool things going on, like Swiftie karaoke. And the following day, they have Swiftie music bingo and Swiftie trivia. So if you would like to enter for a chance to win pairs of tickets to both days' festivities, you can sign up now at station.page/13 and enter our contest there. We also have details on the event and how to get tickets on our website, the13podcast.net. Again, this is for Swiftie Tattoo Fest going on this weekend, December 13th and 14th. And you can register for your free pair of tickets to both days by going to station.page/13. That's station.page/13. Come along, join us in the Lobster Lounge for a good time and good conversations. Demanding more. Crowd is chanting more.
I can do it with a broken heart for sure.
Only when your girlish glow flickers just so do they let you know.
So the girlish glow makes me think of the ageism in the industry.
Once you start getting older, then it's like, and not even older. I mean, Clara Bow retired whenever she was like 28 or something, maybe even, I think it was 28, but not even getting older. Now the industry is starting to embrace it because they can't help it, because Reese Witherspoon's creating companies saying, you're not going to give older women jobs? Well, I am, and I'm starting my own company. So now Pam Anderson is walking around with no makeup on.
I love it.
And yeah, and beautiful. And she's like, I don't want to do it anymore. This is me. I'm not hiding. So I love the fact that we are embracing getting older now instead of being ashamed about it, because what can you do about it? What, you can't do anything about it. It's good to get older because that means that you're still alive, that you're lucky, that you were, you were able to make it. Not everybody is fortunate enough to grow older. But only when you get older and your girlish glow flickers so do they let you know it's hell on earth to be heavenly. Them's the breaks, they don't come gently. So now she realizes everything that she's had to give up to be this icon, this performer, this entertainer. Kind of the same stuff like Chaparral Roan is going through now. Now she's been a performer for a long time, but she hit, and once she hit big.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's setting boundaries, and people say, oh, you're ungrateful. Look at what all you have. No, look at what all she's giving up as well.
Yeah, it's the price of fame. And all of this bridge is just warning. Taylor's warning the future. If this is what you want, this is what you have to give up.
Mm-hmm. And then the last verse, because the cycle goes over and over again. You look like Taylor Swift. In this light, we're loving it. You've got edge she never did. The future's bright, dazzling. But how cool and different was it to hear Taylor Swift use her name in her own song?
Yeah, she's never done that before.
Yeah. So, I mean, she's referring to her brand and what other people in the industry are now hearing. It's all inevitable that you can be this. You can be Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I mean, we heard it with Olivia Rodrigo and Sabrina Carpenter. They're the next Taylor Swift. But I don't know. Are we going to get another Taylor Swift? The cycle says we will, but it's hard to imagine.
I remember saying that about Olivia Rodrigo whenever we did a breakdown on her. I was like, oh, yeah, she's just like Taylor Swift. And Anna was the one who pointed out, like, she doesn't have to be like Taylor Swift. She can be her own person. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I didn't mean it like that, but we're so used to, or have been used to, making comparisons like that you are going to be this person, not your own person, not the next person, that you're just going to be this up and coming. Someone wondered if perhaps Taylor wrote this song backwards because she saw Sabrina Carpenter open up for her on the Eras tour with her cute bangs, her edge, and was wondering if maybe that got her thinking.
That's interesting.
And I mean, we have heard it before, the lucky one, nothing new. So it's the same idea that she's had, but maybe looking and trying to warn others about what can come, at what price do you want this fame?
Yeah.
You have all the talent in the world, but you're still under so much scrutiny. And because this is a closing track on the original anthology, on the original TTPD, some wonder if that's the insight into what's to come next. Because we know that Taylor Swift is directing a movie, and usually her closing tracks will lead into the next one. Think about Hits Different, immediately going into Tortured Poets Department. So is this insight into what else she has up her sleeve?
Yeah, there were rumors that this would be the last song that she would ever write, but I don't believe that.
Because once Clara Bow went away, she did come back and do 2 more films, but then she left, decided that was enough. She was done. She was plagued with mental illness, underwent shock treatment, which is what we see in the Fortnite music video. And let's not forget Stevie Nicks and Taylor Swift's relationship. I thought it was so beautiful. That was the first time that I read that, what Stevie Nicks said in 2010.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
And even though it feels like it wasn't that long ago, it was still a different time then. And what she said is so true of how I know I was raised, that you don't want to be next to a young thing looking bad.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking how good she looks, you're going to think about how bad you look next to her, because she's young, she's tiny, she's everything. And for her to say all that into words and give her all the credit, just like beautiful. She was passing the stained crown to her in that moment. But she's also had other things to say about her. Like in June 2023, Stevie Nicks thanked Taylor Swift for writing You're on Your Own, Kid. She said it in her own concert, Stevie Nicks concert, and she said it helped her mourn the loss of Christine McVie and made her feel like she wasn't on her own. Then Stevie Nicks wrote a handwritten poem.
Yeah, for the album package for the Tortured Poets Department. Is that what you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Should we read it?
Yeah. Do you want to switch off? Do you
Sure.
have it?
Yeah, I got it.
When was it written?
Oh, gosh. I just know that it's called For Tea and Me by Stevie Nicks. I don't know when it was written.
So, I mean, I don't know when it was written, but the date that's on there, who knows what that means?
Right.
September 13th, 8:50 p.m. A poem by Stevie Nicks.
He was in love with her, or at least she thought so. She was brokenhearted. Maybe he was too. Neither of them knew. She was way too hot to handle. He was way too high to try.
He couldn't even see her. He wouldn't open his eyes. She was on her way to the stars. He didn't say goodbye. She looked back from her future and shed a few tears. He looked into his past and actually felt fear.
For both of them, the answers would never be ever clear. Don't ask questions now. Do that later. She brings joy. He brings Shakespeare. It's almost a tragedy. Says she, don't endanger me. Don't endanger me.
He can't really answer her. He's afraid of her. He's hiding from her. And he knows that he's hurting her. She tells the truth. She writes about it. She's an informer. He's an ex-lover. There's nothing there for her. She's already gone. There's nothing that can stop her.
She was just flying through the clouds where he saw her. She was just making her way to the stars when he lost her.
Love their friendship together.
I do too.
Also, just interesting to note, in the song Gorgeous, Taylor Swift has the line Sunset and Vine. That's where Clara Bow's Hollywood Star is.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I
So
love
that
that.
was back in Reputation.
That's some good trivia if we were ever to do a Taylor Swift game again.
Mhm.
That's a really good one.
Yeah. And Clara Bow did make the transition into from silent films into talkie films. Am I saying that correctly? I think that's what I saw it referred to
Yeah.
earlier, at least sound films, motion picture,
Yeah.
whatever. But I found this, it's an old recording, obviously, so it doesn't have the best quality, but this is Clara Bow singing, and there's only one, and it mimics a lot of what Taylor Swift has gone through, even though this is a movie and something she had to sing still.
I pay the price for being kind. Often I'm misunderstood. Oh, why do they fall? I can't love them all. I'd settle down if I could.
Yeah.
Talking about paying the price, being
Yeah.
misunderstood, having all the dating, all the love, all the men.
Man, you really brought it today. Look at that research. I didn't even hear that.
Yeah.
I didn't find that.
Yeah, I heard like she was called brazen and drunk and loud and promiscuous and just all this stuff that women aren't supposed to be. So people didn't like her and she was scrutinized for it, but also she was so heavily talked about that who knows what part of that is true. Like was she because Taylor Swift was the same thing, or was she just living her best life and people are judging her for
Yeah,
it?
think about all the headlines that weren't true that happened, especially around the 1989 era. That I was like, what is this garbage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought this was funny, but just for a personal reason. I read that at one point she was engaged to two people at the same time. And the reason I thought that was funny, my grandmother was engaged to two people at the same time. And I mean, this was so old school. She would tell me that she went to college to get her MRS, Like, you didn't go to college for a degree then. Women weren't they weren't on their own. They weren't allowed to be on their own. You went to college to get a man, to get married, and that's exactly what she did. But she was engaged to 2 people at the same time.
One was secret, or?
No, the first time she got proposed to, they asked her to marry them, and she was like, and they gave her a ring. And then my grandfather got back for more, and he asked her to marry him, and she goes, and she chose my grandfather. So she's like, I was engaged, but like I never officially said yet. They just took it as a yes. And so
I think accepting a ring has something to do with it too.
it was old school. Maybe they didn't have rings. I don't know. Maybe it was just mutually said. But yeah, she would always tell me that she was kind of engaged to 2 people at the same time, but then chose my grandfather. So the G's have a long line of history is what I'm trying to say. I wasn't the first. So, Amy, I've had a really good time hanging out in the Lobster Lounge with our listeners. We have super cool listeners in this exclusive lounge that we have, station.page/13, where just getting to chat with listeners and see what's on their mind. We're doing some giveaways that we have coming up. We have people in there excited, sharing their Spotify Wrapped after such an insane year, showing us that our podcast is their number one. Although I had a friend share hers, and none of the other podcasts were competing, but still I was like, why aren't we number one? It was like, call her daddy. And we're not here to compete against anybody, except for I would want to be number one with a friend. Like, what are you doing listening to other ones? But anyway, head to Lobster Lounge. We are having such a great time hanging out with our friends in there, talking, gossiping, theorizing. You can go there to station.page/13. It's absolutely free. Just join us in the Lobster Lounge so we can talk to you. Another way we get to talk to you is on our Google voicemail. So we had a longtime friend check in, and I'm just so happy and want to say happy belated birthday to Spencer now that we are playing this. But this is from our friend Spencer, and you will remember him.
Hey, 13 podcast. My name's Spencer Boyd. Y'all may or may not remember me. I went to y'all's midnight release party, and that was so much fun. I was the guy wearing the Junior Jules shirt. Lacey, thank you for complimenting on my shirt. I really appreciate that. And it's my 22nd birthday today, and I just wanted to give y'all a shout out and say thank you so much for setting this up. Like, just a fun thing for the community. Like, it's so much fun every Tuesday to hear from y'all. I'm so excited for us to get to Reputation, knock on wood, whenever that happens. But yeah, I'm actually going to Vancouver night 2 this weekend, so I'll definitely share details with y'all when I get the chance. But yeah, I just think y'all are so awesome. Like, Anna, Lacey, Amy, Nick, y'all are so cool. And Nick, thank you for being like a representative for us guys Swifties. Like, guys can be Swifties too, come on now. Anna, you remind me a lot of my sister, like personality-wise and taste in music. Lacey, I feel like you and I would have a lot of fun at the parties. Like, we would go hard on the petty songs. And also, Amy, Don't Feel Bad All Too Well isn't my number one track 5 either, so you're not alone. But yeah, love y'all. Y'all are so dope. And have a great day. Long live the Swifties and long live the 13 podcast.
Aw, that's so sweet. Happy 22.
Happy birthday. Thank you so much for the voicemail, and can't wait to hear about Vancouver.
Yes.
This is going to be posted just days after she wraps up the Eras tour. So what's still to come? I don't know. Spencer will tell us soon, and we will all know very, very soon. But what a bold declaration to side with Amy on All Too Well.
I hope you don't get any hate like I do.
And I just, this made my heart so happy. Ashlyn is producing for us on the fly.
All right.
And I am just so proud, and what a great idea.
Hey, 13 podcast. It's me, Ashlyn, who is probably your only listener in Alabama. And I'm a huge fan of y'all. I went to Toronto night 2, I got to meet DJ Rose at the tailgate thing beforehand, and I also was in the 3rd row, got a guitar pick from Taylor. It was so cool. And I love you guys. Like, I feel like I just know y'all, like, we're like best friends now, and I feel like I'm always wanting to be a part of the podcast and add stuff. I just finished listening to y'all's episode where you ranked your favorite Eras Tour outfits. And since the Eras Tour is coming to an end, I know, I'm sorry, I was thinking, like, for me personally, I feel like it'll be more memorable to hear y'all rank, like, your favorite Eras Tour moments. Like, for example, like, announcements or errors or, like, just, like, standout moments like that. I feel like that would be a good opportunity to relive the Eras Tour moments. But, yeah, anyways, I love you guys so much. I am a Reputation girly like you, Lacey, and Anna. I just would really love to be your best friend. And the rest of you guys, I would just love to be in a conversation with. I'm sure it would last 13 hours.
What a great idea.
I know. I love it. And I do want to save this for a future episode, but like right off the top of my head, I'm just thinking the excitement whenever Taylor Swift changed the lyrics to the guy on the Chiefs coming straight home to me.
Yeah. That was mind-boggling.
Yeah, but there are so many fun moments. I mean, even a clip that plays in my head, even though I wasn't there and it has nothing to do to me, is whenever she was yelling at the security guard to stop. She wasn't doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Stop.
Mm-hmm.
Stopping in the middle of her concert to take up for a fan and say, she wasn't doing anything. Don't kick her out. Yeah, so what a great idea, Ashlyn. Thank you so much for your voicemail, and we love you too. I want to touch on just really quickly a big accomplishment from Taylor Swift, and Jake Dayton from TikTok just says it so well. I'm going to play what he had to say. I would have never looked at the numbers or thought the comparison, but of course, Taylor Swift's Eras Tour book is already doing major, major things.
Yeah.
And Jake Dayton explains.
Taylor's Target exclusive Eras Tour book sold over 800,000 copies in its first weekend of release. This was the largest book debut of 2024, but this story gets even crazier. This is the second biggest launch of a nonfiction book ever, only behind Barack Obama's presidential memoirs, A Promised Land. But this story gets even crazier. Obama's presidential memoir was available through all major outlets. Taylor's is just through Target, and it had a full week of tracking. The Eras Tour book only accounts for its first weekend sales. This means when all is said and done, the Eras Tour book is definitely going to be the biggest launch ever for a nonfiction book. And it's literally a coffee table book about the Eras Tour going up against presidential memoirs. In fact, Taylor only sold a couple of thousand copies less in just a couple of days than Obama's memoir sold the entire week. And y'all, this is an expensive book, way more expensive than buying an album. Where are all those people in my comment section that says Taylor Swift only has high sales because of her album variants? There are no variants of this $40 book, and it is going to be the biggest nonfiction debut in history, surpassing Barack Obama. This is why Swifties say put some respect on Taylor Swift's name. She is not competing with other pop stars. She is competing with former world leaders.
Oh my gosh. That's incredible.
But just what a feat, what great points. This is only through Target. We haven't hit international sales yet. Mm-hmm. And yeah, there's only one variant and it's not cheap. So you can't say that she's buying her way to number one because her fans are ravenous and will buy up everything. But we will. We will. Anna,
let's be honest.
Anna owns multiple copies of the same albums for that reason. And lastly, the Eras Tour is over. By the time this is posted, it's done. Our questions will all be answered. She's going to take a final bow, a final jump into the stage. But I saw this on TikTok from Grace, and she just explained so well what the Eras Tour was, the excitement, the buildup around it, and why we could not get enough.
Recently, I had to answer the question, why did you go to so many Eras Tours? And in order to understand, got to take it back to 2022. Like 8 months of silence from Taylor Swift. And we are in the midst of Taylor's version era. We're also on the coattails of the Swiftie resurgence of 2021 with Red Taylor's version and All Too Well, the 10-minute version. Swiftiedom is in the air, and we haven't heard anything from her since that time. We're freaking out. We're losing our minds. The VMAs are coming up, and Taylor Swift arrives in a dress reminiscent of the Look What You Made Me Do video. Oh, babe, the clown nose is on, the makeup full beat. Okay, bitch, we're like, no. Reputation Taylor's version is coming tonight. It's coming tonight. No. Instead, Taylor Swift announces her brand new album, Midnights Were Gagged, thus beginning one of the most fun promo cycles of an album. Okay, we had so much fun. We're living our life. We're doing our thing. Okay, album drops. We love it. We're having the time of our lives. Then Taylor Swift decides that she's going to go on Good Morning America and announce something. She announces that she is going to have a tour starting in less than a year. What? And it's called the Eras Tour. And you already know what comes after that. You know, the Battle of Ticketmaster. Now there's a big debate. What is the Eras Tour? We're losing our minds. We're having the time of our life. It's so exciting. Then we're conceptually, what are we going to wear? Time is building up. It's building. And finally, you're there. We've all come together after theorizing, thinking about what the set list's going to be, what's going to happen, what's going on. You're there and you hear applause. And then at the end of applause, the countdown starts. It's crazy. The clock strikes midnight and it zooms out. And all of a sudden you hear, it's been a long time coming. Why did I go so many times? Not apart from the fact that Taylor Swift is the artist of my life that I've resonated with so fucking much. Okay, we stay repping her. That feeling, if you get it, you get it. And if you don't get it, you don't get it. But you gotta get it, because once you get it, you get it. And then you're gonna wanna get it again and again and again.
I thought that was perfect. That was absolutely perfect. I love her excitement. I love her buildup of it. And it just makes you remember we've been in this Eras Tour era for so long that we forget the 8 months of silence that we're in Taylor's version, that at the time we still didn't know, is she going to tour again? Are things going to get back to normal? And then it was just build up. That insane rollout for Midnight.
Yeah.
I still see those videos on TikTok where she's
It's so fun.
picking up the phone and
The mayhem.
The Midnight's mayhem. The phone's on the other side. Like, what does it all mean? She makes it so fun. Then she just over-delivered with that Eras Tour. And we will have a lot of fun looking back and a lot of happy memories. And now, thanks to our co-producer, Ashlyn, even an episode reflecting on the Eras Tour.
Absolutely.
At one day.
Thank you, Ashlyn.
Yeah, thank you so much. Well, thank you for joining us for this episode of 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast, where Amy and I, solo, broke down Clara Bow. I hope we did a good job. I hope you like it. Let us know if we did. Do not let us know if we did not.
Well, let us know what we missed. How about that?
Let us know what we missed. And thank you so much for tuning in. Next time, we're going to be breaking down a song which actually has Clara Bow ties to The Black Dog. She wrote a poem to her black dog.
Stop.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I had so much Clara Bow research and then so flustered to come in, and it's me and you that I forgot. But there you go.
That's amazing.
Just a little tidbit there on the end. But we will be breaking down The Black Dog.
Thanks for listening. The 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. Subscribe for free and leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.